Hey, Kevin, you felt like kind of got into a zone early on in the game. Do you think that kind of propelled you? And what's working tonight compared to maybe the past couple of games where you've struggled a little bit?
Yeah, the first shot went in. Tonight was frustrating. Just the foul trouble for me. Seeing one go in and then having to come out of the game. But credit to them. I mean, they trusted me to put me back in that first half. Was able to find it again. Guys were finding me, especially in transition. So that was great. Obviously, got into a little groove there in the second quarter.
Kevin, you've played in the NBA for a while now. Have you been around crowds like this, what you're seeing every night in Sacramento?
I haven't. Not this consistent. This is like a playoff atmosphere every night. The only thing that's missing is handing out the T-shirts and maybe some towels, like whatever they do in the playoffs. But it really is. It's every night.
Kevin, you guys shot 52.9% tonight from the field, but these last 5 games, these last 5 wins, you guys about right around that mark. Can you talk about, the consistency on offense, the way you guys are shooting from the floor?
Yeah, we know we can score at this point in the season. I don't think scoring for us is the issue. For us, it's just how we're getting our shots. It's playing up and down, playing in transition, getting kick-out threes. Fox can go get his mid-range shots, but everyone else, for the most part, is either getting layups, threes, playing fast. So we'll take, we'll live and die. We only 30% from 3 tonight. There's other games we've obviously shot better. For us, it's just how we're getting those shots and just trying to be consistent in our movement and what we do game by game.
Kevin, you've talked before about how deep this team is and how so many guys can score at given moments. But at what point does it take it up to another level where you have, whether it's Domas hitting clutch free throws, De'Aaron's 7 straight 30-point games, and Trey Lyles stepping up, yourself stepping up, just having so many guys that can deliver in key moments?
We've done it all year. We've done it all year. Obviously, right now, there's a great sense of urgency every night to keep trying to stack wins. We're in a dogfight here in the standings, obviously in the home stretch here this season. So I think we feel the sense of urgency. Domas, that was obviously huge, him stepping up and making those free throws. De'Aaron has just been aggressive, really consistently. Every game, it feels like, for the last month, just imposing his will. That's something that great players do, obviously, all season long, and going to need him to do for us moving forward. But we've done it all year. We've had guys, I don't know how many guys for our team have scored 30, how many guys have been in 20s consistently, but really 1 through 10, the guys in rotation, we're confident we can score.
So many times you've had a lot of games come down to the wire like this. How do you feel you've benefited as a group from a composure standpoint, not to kind of panic in moments like that as it trickles down?
Yeah, luckily, we've won a lot of these games, which has been great. De'Aaron has mostly been our closer in a lot of these games. Malik has had his moments. Domas today made those big free throws. So for the most part, we're getting good looks at the end of the games. De'Aaron is able to get to his spots and consistent with knocking down that mid-range jumper. And we weren't great down the stretch, obviously defensively today. Didn't get a lot of stops, but it feels like to win these types of games, we get stops when we need to.
Yeah, Kevin, this felt like the most zone we've seen from you guys all year. How do you feel like you guys did executing that, considering it's not something you go to too often?
Yeah, we had to try something different, try to keep them out of the paint. I don't think it's, teams that go zone. I think for the most part, you just want to mix it in just to, show teams different things. But not all the teams in the NBA play a lot of zone. So I think we got to be better in our man and, staying out of the zone. But that was just something I think our coaching staff went to try to create some stops.
Kevin, you kind of mentioned it, free throw line. You mentioned Domas, but you guys were perfect 26 for 26 from the line. How important is that to knock those down?
Yeah, that's on Dutch. We practice that a lot at the end of every practice, every shoot around. A couple of you guys have seen, playing free throw game. It's super important, especially, we needed every one of them tonight. Obviously, we were perfect from the floor. Hit the 2 biggest ones, won us the game. So it's going to be huge, obviously, in close games like this.
Kevin, you guys came out of training camp pretty confident in your group, given that you had a lot of new faces and a new coaching staff. But could you describe how your level of belief has changed since the season has started and getting to this point?
To be honest, I don't think it's changed too much. I think, like you said, we had a great confidence coming from training camp, seeing how deep our team was, how competitive it was, found success in the preseason. And you can't look at preseason too much, but I think we saw what we're capable of and getting up and down and scoring a lot. And we didn't start off the year great. We're 0-4. I don't think our confidence ever wavered. We have we have some really good players on this team, and we talked about our depth all year. Just guys stepping up when we need them to, and I think this team has always had belief. I don't think that's ever wavered.
Kevin, one more. As the season's gone on and that sense of belief has grown and like not just here but within the city and the excitement has built up, I just wonder from your perspective what it's been like to see, not only the way you've been embraced but the way the city embraces the team and success. What does this feel like from your end?
Yeah, for me, it's all brand new. I haven't obviously seen the lows that the city has gone through. So for me, it's like it's great. There's so much excitement around the city. It feels like everybody here is following us. You can't go in public without everybody saying they're seeing the Kings. There's no other team in town that people watch. So for me, it's been great. You show up and you win. You're third seed in the West. This is the highest. Most games over 500 I've ever been in my career. The highest seed I've ever been in my career. So there's a great sense of excitement. These fans we've talked about, they show up every night for us. So I haven't seen the other side of it. I hope I never do. But it's been unbelievable for me so far, and I think the rest of this team.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Total game.
De'Aaron, did you get him on the arm?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Is that what he did? Is that what he said? I don't know.
Just your eighth straight 30-point
got me
game.
on the arm a couple times.
Yeah. Your eighth straight 30-point game, and just the way you're rolling, the way your team is rolling. How good do you feel right now, and like how confident is this group?
Oh, we feel good. Obviously, with what we're doing offensively, we feel like we can play with the best of them. So you just want to continue to play that way. But we still know what it is. We still have to be better defensively. And in a game like this, I mean, we have to be able to put them away. Obviously, they started, running junk defenses, throwing double teams, and we just have to be better towards the end of the game.
De'Aaron, don't laugh at this, but since Rain has been born, you've had a 30-point game in every game but one. Is there something, like, not bigger picture than that, like not specific, maybe to that, but like, what is there something to that at all? Is there any correlation at all?
I think he came at a great time. I think I usually play my best basketball around and after All-Star break. So I think I would say it's being recognized more because the games mean something. So, but I mean, this is the time that you want to be playing. You want to be playing your best. It's just like in college where, towards the end of conference play, you want to be playing your best basketball to go into March Madness. So it's the same thing with any professional sport. You want to start playing your best basketball towards the end of the season. Obviously, we have about a quarter of the season left, but we want to keep rolling.
De'Aaron, I believe this is the 5th game this season that has been decided by 1 point for you guys, and you guys have won all 5. There's been a lot of talk about this team's lack of experience or playoff experience or anything like that, but what does that show about the experience of this team to win those close games? I
mean, you got to be able to finish games at the end of the day. Obviously, you would love to be in blowout wins, but when the game gets close, I mean, that's what any competitor wants to experience, being in close games. So, hopefully this is getting us geared up for the playoffs and playing the same team. It could be 7 times, could be 4 times. So, with us seeing them last week and then seeing them again today, that could also be a playoff matchup. And you want to be able to go into games, have adjustments. You're going to see different looks. You're going to see just a ton of different things, and you want to be able to finish games and execute at the end of games.
As someone like yourself who grew up, idolizing Russell Westbrook, what was it like seeing him on that team? And I know you had a lot of back and forth with him. How much did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I mean, he's a competitor. Obviously, I mean, he's probably the most scrutinized player in our game. But for him, obviously, you've heard about the guys that have played with him, either in OKC, Washington, the Lakers. I mean, everybody loves playing with him. Everybody loves being around him. I mean, I love playing against him. I feel like he brings out the best in me. But I mean, when you're out there, you kind of know, he's going to play hard. He's going to create for his teammates. He's going to get to the basket. He made shots tonight, which is, I would say, good to see, not from our standpoint, but as a basketball fan, as someone who watched him growing up, you love to see him playing well, love to see him confident. I'm glad he played well, but I'm glad we got the win. But yeah, I mean, you'll never hear a bad thing said about Russell Westbrook from anybody in this league that's played against him or that's played with him. Obviously, they'll be mad whenever he's playing well, but I mean that's just competition.
De'Aaron, you mentioned the close games and closing out games. You guys were a perfect 26 for 26 from the line. How important is that stat with the postseason looming?
That's good. I didn't even know that. I mean, yeah, we're a team that's able to get to the line just from the way that we play, getting up and down, being able to get to the paint. So whenever we get there, we have to be able to convert because you don't want to be one of those teams that, you look at a 3-point loss and we miss 6-7 free throws. So it's definitely good for us tonight. But I mean, you want to be able to be consistent from the line.
De'Aaron, to hear you talking about the playoffs and kind of looking ahead to that, I know you guys still have some work to do, but like to be at this point in the season and feel this level of excitement building around you guys and in the city, in the locker room, within the organization, what's that like for you personally, just to kind of be on that end of this now?
It's great. It's definitely a great feeling. I would say it's great because it's my first time. This is something that, we obviously want to make annual. You want to be a team that's contending for a title. So, yeah, this feels good. But for us, making the playoffs isn't our goal. Like I said before, Mike came in here and he's been a coach on championship teams. So he has our mindset on bigger things than just making the playoffs. Obviously, it's great for the city. It's great for the organization because it's been so long. But we still want bigger things for ourselves. But to snap the streak, I think is definitely great, and I think everybody in the locker room is happy about that. But like I said, we want to achieve bigger things.
Yeah, and obviously your game is at a high level right now. But to close the season, what's something you think you could work on to make it better?
For me, I think it's just continue to be a better defender. Throughout however many minutes I'm out there, and just trying to be consistent from the free throw line and as a 3-point shooter. I feel like I've made free throws, I made floaters, and my mid-range pull-up at a high level. But I I feel like in the playoffs, obviously, they're going to try to give you different looks, give you different things. So you just want to go into there being a complete player.
De'Aaron, given where you guys stand and given that you've had a few high-level games now against the Clippers, is there an element of like rivalry building? Like, are you noticing that? Does that add any extra juice to these types of games? Like, did last Friday's game add any juice to this one?
I wouldn't really say that. Obviously, that's a team that's in our division, so you see them 4 times a year. I don't think anybody would really say a rivalry, but going into every game that it's going to be a good game. I mean, you have 2 high-level teams. You have high-level players on each side of the court. Obviously, I think most people think that that's the deepest team in the league. So you're going to go into a dogfight, but I wouldn't say it's a rivalry.
Do you know what the most makes in one game is? The most makes in one game? For free throws, is it 26? It's 26. It is 26. Okay, thank you.
The most makes without a miss.
Without a miss, yeah. We're talking 100%. Yes.
I will certainly.
Thank you.
Who's that?
You was with Rosanna, right?
Yeah.
Muhammad was over
it
there?
is. No.
Well, we had this talk again. Where did you get that shit from? The bookstore? I mean, I said.
The store, yeah. 20 something. It was 43. My favorite shirt.
I come here late though. I'll probably get here like third quarter because we play stock house again tomorrow at 5. What? Michael just typed that, right? Because I sent him.
They were the Kansas City Royals.
Is that okay?
So he didn't notice it until like literally like 10 seconds ago. I showed him like at the time.
No, you remember that night that you jinxed me.
Yeah. So I didn't say nothing then when he was there.
Behind us, I just said. Say that.
I tell you what, we found a way to steal that game. During this time of the year, especially with how close everybody is in the West, you take them how you can get them. But that was not one of our better performances. Give the Clippers credit; they stayed with it. They started hitting Foxy at the end of the game, and we didn't respond correctly every time, and they took advantage of it. I thought our bench was fantastic. Malik had with 8 assists. Trey had 8 rebounds. Mezzi had 5 rebounds. I thought Davion was solid on both ends of the floor. You talk about Sabonis and Foxy. I had talked about them, making the All-Star game, and now they're doing things that warrant them to be mentioned in all NBA. They're doing things that are historic with our organization while we're winning games, and hopefully, as time goes on, people will start realizing that and not just putting the word All-Star in front of their names, but all NBA, whether it's first team, second team, third team, just getting some sort of recognition for what they've done. Sabonis with his double-doubles, at certain levels. Foxy, he's the string of 30-point games is off the charts. And, they're up there with guys that were born when their grandfathers were born. So that speaks volumes. But, again, take your hat off to the game that the Clippers had. But us finding a way with the 17 second chance points and going 26 for 26 from the free throw line was huge, especially Domas's two big pressure free throws at the end of the game.
Hey, Mike, you said after the All-Star break we're about to hit the most important stretch of our season. You guys started 5-0 since then. What do you think has been the key to that success for the past 5 games?
We're just kind of finding a way. I don't know if you can point to one single thing. Obviously, offensively, we've been playing pretty good basketball, but we've been playing pretty good basketball offensively the whole year. And so what it buckles down to is just kind of us finding a way to get a stop here, get a stop there, get a little bit lucky here, a little bit lucky there, and then maybe hit a timely shot or something like that. I told the guys, I said, we've proven time after time after time, it doesn't really matter who's in front of us, that we're going to put points on the board or enough points on the board to go win a game. For us, we have to find ways to be consistent defensively. And what I mean by that is playing with a sense of urgency, having a sense of physicality without sending teams or guys to the free throw line, and doing it for as close to 48 minutes as possible. Now, once you start doing that, or once we start doing that, we'll take off. Nobody.
When you think about even some of the things you can be critical of down the stretch there, how much do you think you guys have benefited from a composure standpoint for being in so many of these situations this season?
That part is huge. To get close game experience like what we, if I'm answering your question right, but to get 1-2 possession game experience in finding ways to get the win is invaluable, because come playoff time, those games are usually a dogfight, and you got to find ways to win down the stretch. You got to get a stop here. You got to get a stop there. You got to execute offensively, or at least know where the ball should go during certain times of certain games, especially the last 20 to 35 seconds of a game. And so you like going through these scenarios. You like obviously teaching and or learning from a win. And at the end of the day, I do truly believe it's going to benefit us long term.
Hey, Mike. First, congratulate you won the Coach of the Month in the February, and it's Kings' first Coach of the Month since 19 years ago. And can you tell us about what's the special about the team you're leading now?
I like their connectivity. The guys, they've been connected from day one, and it started in the summertime. Their ability to get together, work together, break bread together, especially when they weren't required to, started to pay dividends early. And that momentum just carried into training camp, into the season. So great group of guys that are connected and that are trying to do things the right way and for each other. And that's the thing I probably like the most about this group.
Yeah, Coach, when the Clippers were blitzing Fox late in that game, how do you feel like your team responded? And when you went to Malik in place of Keegan with about 1:20 left, is that just looking for some secondary playmaking?
Yeah, we knew they wanted to get the ball out of Fox's hands, and you give them credit, they did a good job. And so we haven't really seen a team do that to him or that aggressively because of the shooting that we have on the floor. But sliding Domas down, playing the dunker area or around the rim area, and then putting Malik on the floor seemed to open it up just a little bit or create some other opportunities for others that could play make. And that's what we did. It was great because we haven't seen it and we need to get better at it, but kind of on the fly for the first time experiencing that sort of double team that aggressively. It was great to get a win and learn from.
Mike, before the second game in OKC, you talked to the team about getting greedy.
Yeah.
With another game tomorrow night, is there a similar message to the team, and if not, what's the difference in terms of this circumstance?
No, 100%. We, you're on a 4 or 5 game winning streak, whatever we're on. If we dropped one, everybody would say, it's okay. They did well. They won this game that they weren't supposed to win, and that game. That's what I'm talking about. Get greedy. Let's just go after every game and leave it on the floor. And hopefully, if we do lose, we can walk away saying we got beat by a better team, and not just it's okay. We tried, but we didn't quite have it. No. Let's leave it out there and go get wins right now, because every single one of these games counts for us, not just in the short term, but obviously long term when you're thinking playoff seeds and all that other stuff.
Coach, all season long we've seen records broken, numerous accolades as well. The 26 for 26 from the free throw line is also a franchise best without a miss. how important is that stat, of course, with the postseason looming, and who do you credit for that success? Kevin kind of mentioned Dutch a little bit.
I'm glad he did because it is Dutch. I don't tell our guys how many free throws to shoot. It's all Dutch. At the end of every practice and every shoot around, everybody knows the drill. And I think I even forgot to say it today, and somebody, instead of saying, "Hey, Mike, what are we doing?" somebody said, "Dutch, what we got?" That's how my staff is. Everybody understands what needs to happen, and they do a phenomenal job with it. But Dutch mixes it up on a daily of how many free throws and different games or goals that they got to achieve before getting out in terms of free throw makes. And we started off, I think, a little slow in that area at the beginning of the year, but our guys are good shooters and they're obviously good free throw shooters, and it definitely paid off tonight, going 26 for 26 with Domas having two huge ones to put us over the top.
Mike, I know you haven't been here the last 16 years to kind of live through this like a lot of people have, but I just wonder, like, from your perspective, how cool this is to be a part of, and whether you even can get a sense of how meaningful this is for the community, for the city, the team, the organization, to put yourself in a position like you guys are putting yourselves in now.
Well, Jay, I tell you, it's awesome. It's really, really cool to be a part of. And, I think I said this once before, Luke and Jordy, they've been with me for a while. I've known them obviously for a while, and a lot of times when I've interviewed, those guys help me out in one way or another. And and when this opportunity to interview came up and we started talking about the job, we didn't envision we'd be sitting in the second spot or the third spot, or we'd have this record or that record. But we did feel like that there was enough here to win. And we talked about how special it would be, just the three of us, if we could be a part of it. And so to be a part of something like this right now, especially talking about it way back when, before we even got the job, is pretty neat. And the whole basis of us thinking it would be an extremely special or neat thing was because of how passionate the fans are here in Sacramento. It was almost 100% based on that. It's just, how neat would it be to be a part of the energy, the environment that once was, in Sacramento, and to be able to help uplift the community with the game of basketball, because with the pieces here and the people here and Vivek's vision, we did truly believe that it could happen. Thank you, guys.